that when those people heard those principles and what these people are working toward and what they're trying to renew themselves as, people just came in and said, what can I do to further that? They didn't say, oh, well, where am I going to get some? Can I get some money? Can I get some real estate? Can I get something? They wasn't looking for it. So anybody got to come and sell you that, they con artists. Anybody got to push money in your face, they ain't got no real message. Because you should be coming asking, what can you do? They should be coming with so much knowledge and so much intelligence on how to move on people forward. You should be asking, what can I do to further that? That's how they came in the Nation of Islam under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's how they came under Dr. York. You understand? Nobody came with no they didn't come Elijah and Dr. York and them. That's how they came to Garvey. They didn't come saying, oh, I'm gonna give you some real estate, or I'm gonna give you a lot of money if you come follow me. They didn't say that. But you got Negroes now, that's the initiative to get you to follow them. We're going to get some money. It's going to make things better. It's not going to make things better for our people. It's not going to make things better. But you think that's a reality, that money is going to change the conditions of people. You really believe that. A lot of our people think, well, if I had some money, things would be a lot better. If I had some money, things would be a lot better. Well, you Negroes got money. And are things better? I'm going to go ahead and take this call 111. I hope this is a serious call and it's not nothing silly because, like I said, a lot of 111 calls are usually silly calls. So I'll go ahead and try it anyway. 111.
Hey, what's going on? I'm listening to you.
All right, brother.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but and I don't know if you're welcome to disagreements, but it is about the money. It really is about the money. I mean, when you look at these white people and what they're trying to preserve, when they want to talk about, taking people's jobs away with the state, or when they're talking about taking away people's guns and stuff like that, they're trying to preserve their way of life. They were promised a way of life. White people did not just miraculously come together because of some white ideologies or philosophies. Even the whole institution of slavery, that was based off of money. The white man didn't come to Africa for any other, to conquer the black man for any other reason other than the money that he could make by capturing some slaves and then selling them for profit. Okay, so the issue of, I understand what you're saying, that it shouldn't, we should be, there should be more to it than just the material aspect of money, but I'm saying if you look at people's behaviors, if you look at what's going on in the BC in reference to how people are acting and how people are treating each other, black people are in survival mode right now. And they're in survival mode because they don't have, the finances or the resources to take care of themselves, take care of their community. Everything that you want to talk about bettering the community in this system, unless we're going to overthrow the government or unless we're going to go run off on some island somewhere, in this system, it requires money to sustain itself. That's just the way it is.
Okay, well, let me disprove everything you just said right now. Okay.
Okay.
Now, there was a time when black people had no money, right? When you talking about going back to Black Wall Street and all this stuff, when black people had no money, they had less than what they have now. They didn't have any. Open door to like universities to go and become doctors and lawyers like you got now. They didn't have any open doors to where you can go and build businesses and set things up like you do now. Black people were coming out of slavery, first generation coming out, second generation coming out of slavery, and they built more. And it was racism was way worse for black people back then than it is now. So they were able to build up. They were able to build up businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Mm-hmm. They was able to have not just in Tulsa, but in places like North Carolina and all around the South. You had black, and in Harlem, you had black people building up businesses when they didn't have anything. They were building up and creating a money, a thing where the money was passed around in the community with nothing. Okay, so now, hold on, let me finish. So now you got black people who have, these Negroes done sold drugs. They done became millionaires. A lot of them became millionaires. Black men have been in the NBA making money. So it was money circulating around, all right, more than it was back then. You have black people with money, because a black man will find, since our people love to say this nonsense, since our people love to say this nonsense about how much money they got or they don't have, or what they in starve mode. But like I said, for some reason, the black man could find $150 to buy a pair of new Nikes or whatever. He could find that. He could find money to buy fitted baseball caps or $200 jeans.
All right, can I respond?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's look at the first thing. I mean, it's a false statement to say that black people came out of slavery with nothing but the skin on their back and went off and established Tulsa, Oklahoma. First off, there were white people who assisted black people in getting them to where they got. That was the whole point about separate but equal. I mean, Reconstruction existed, and the white Democrats at the time, because that's what the Republicans are now, but the white Democrats at the time, they tried to shut that down. They didn't want black people to be helped or anything like that. You got Thomas Jefferson making a statement talking about we got the wolf by its ears, and we got self-preservation in one hand, and then we have righteousness and justice in the other hand. The idea, the concept of freeing the slaves. The issue now for black people is the fact that we are not dependent on each other for our survival, our economic survival. I mean, you brought up the point about guys buying sneakers. It's like, okay, they buying sneakers. That's what they buy to make them feel good about themselves. But when we talking about sneaker money, we talking about, the money to buy a pair of Jordans to make you feel good. We're not talking about something that allows you to sustain yourself and actually go out here and buy a home or buy the automobile you got to go to work every day, or have the money or the resources to even build a pro-black, Afrocentric, we are kings and gods in the original man status school. That costs money.
But the black man don't. Well, wait a minute. But let me just say, I understand what you're saying, but realistically, the black man don't want that. The black man don't want no school for themselves. Black people do not want that. Let me finish. Black people want the creature comforts. They want them Jordans. They want them fitted baseball caps. They want them $200 jeans. That's what they want. They want them cars to jump up in. They want to sell dope, kill each other, take out life insurance policies, and they'll do anything to get those creature comforts. Anything past that they don't care about. The majority of the black people, they don't care about. Let me just say this. The reason, let me finish this. And the reason why black people were able to achieve so much in a short period of time, because that's a lie that white people was helping them. That wasn't a lot white people helping a lot. That wasn't helping a lot of that. You had a few of your white liberals, but that was few and far in between, because if that was the case, they would have protected them when those whites came and blew up all of that stuff. And it wasn't just in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where blacks were thriving, because what happened was when black people was in slavery, when they was getting out of it, they had a burning desire. They knew that education was important, achieving things. They didn't have a lot of the creature comforts and things that they have now. That's why I made a statement on Facebook when I said black people achieved more when they had nothing, and now they got more and they're achieving. In other words, black people, when they didn't have, they had less, they achieved more. Now they got more and they achieve less, because that's what happens when you have a people who are misguided mentally and they don't know realistically what their purpose is for getting this stuff.
Let me say where I do agree with you. I think that the issue. I agree that we don't focus on what we should focus on. None of us do. But I think a lot of that came out of black people getting too comfortable, because when you look at the decline of the black family, like you said, the closer you get to slavery, the better off we were. The decline of the black family started somewhere around the 70s, right after the civil rights movement. You got documentaries like Bastards of the Party, where they talk about the bastard offspring of the civil rights movement. Bunch of kids running around with no guidance. They dump drugs in our community and whatnot. But what black people got too comfortable with, when we got those decent factory-paying unionized jobs and stuff like that, those unions and stuff that we fought for, to be equal to the white man. Once we got in his house, we became complacent, and we thought, that's what they fought for. They fought for equality. They fought for not to have your own, but to have what, the white people had basically denied us. And once we got in there, and once we got all that stuff, we got real comfortable, and we didn't build for ourselves. And what you're seeing now is you're seeing the effects or the derivatives of us not having our own economic institutions. Okay, so people are out here in survival mode because I mean, real talk. Let's take a black kid. He's from the inner city. He's from Camden, New Jersey. He graduates. He graduates high school. Let's say he gets into college, which we already know the chances are low. He gets into college. He graduates. Okay, now he has a degree. Let's say he has a degree in biochemical engineering. There's no biochemical engineering factories in the black community that are operated and controlled by black men. There's
that's
none
your
of
first
that.
mistake. Stop. That's your first
What's
mistake.
the first mistake?
What you just said, that's your first mistake. And that's the thinking of the black man and why the black man has nothing. Because you start thinking that you should, after you get this degree, after you get this biochemistry degree or whatever, you start looking for a job. You start looking for a job. Not once do you think, how can I utilize the degree to start something for myself? See, that's the thinking right there. You still think like a slave. The black man still thinks like a slave.
Wait, I agree with you. However, put things in a realistic timeline, okay? If that kid came out of a single parent home, which is where we are right now, let's deal with where we are right now, okay? And he graduates. Yes, the ideal situation would be to go out here and create your own business and something for yourself. But the reality is the disparity between the white community and our community and the wealth that we do not have. Okay, people try to act like there's this big pot in the middle that everybody can reach in. There's not, okay? He's got student loans he's got to pay off. Okay, so when he graduates, the first thing he needs is gainful employment. Once he gets the gainful employment and stacks a couple of dollars, maybe get himself a nice little apartment, get himself a car so he can go to work every day, and he's stacking his bread, then he can think about, okay, I got, extra, $50,000. All right, what am I going to do with this? Now, the best thing to do, because this is what happens with other races of men, is he's going to link up with another brother that's doing the same thing. He got his $50,000. So now they got $100,000. Now they can do something because they got real money. We're not talking sneaker money. We're talking real money. Now they got $100,000 to work with. But the issue is, so many brothers out here end up falling off because, let's face it, you got dudes that get locked up. You got dudes that got baby mama. Now they got child support and stuff like that. So when you get there, even if you got your degree that you got from a white university, you not only are the opportunities not in the black community, but also you don't have any brothers to work with.
Well, here's the thing. Nobody's supposed to give you any opportunity. You're supposed to make your opportunity. That's what real men do. When Barry
No.
I'll let you talk.
Okay, go ahead.
You got people who came from nothing. And I'm talking about people like your Berry Gordy's, like your John H. Johnsons, like your Reginald Lewis. You got people that came from nothing. And when you start thinking and measuring yourself against other races of people and what they got and what can you get from that. And because the black man, like I said, he goes into this mentality, like he goes into the world like a slave still, obviously, because he starts thinking that, I'm looking for opportunities instead of creating opportunities. I'm looking for a job instead of creating a job. He takes up things where he needs to get a job. That's always his mentality. I got to take up a thing in college where I got to get a job. Or he makes himself a slave by going out here and laying up with every other woman like the Negro did on the plantation, getting them pregnant, can't take care of nothing, or getting caught up in the penal system. Next thing you know, he's locked up. So he makes himself a slave every day. He does things to put him in a slave situation. That's why he has nothing. And then when he does get something, he has no clue as to what to do next with it. Because if the black man thinks all he got to do is try to amass so much money to where he can keep consuming and he think he doing good. It's like the fat Negro that's still on his job for 25 years and he get a pension or he getting paid what he think is good money. And he gets fat and he's like, the company, the job taking care of me. I'm eating good. So he all fat and sloppy and whatnot because he has this childlike mentality of somebody's supposed to take care of you. And you were outfitted with that from your slave master when he fed you on the plantation up into the civil rights movement where they start giving you handouts. But when they didn't give you anything, it put you in a thinker's mode. Now, because the black man is and he's getting everything snatched away from him now. Now he's panicking, and he's going into a survival mode because he don't know how to make it without assistance. He ain't going to know how to make it without Section 8 or welfare or any things that he was used to getting. So that's what's going to happen right now. Let me finish. That's what's going to happen right now. The black man is going to go into a panic when there's no WIC for his baby mamas, when there's no more drugs coming in the community for him to sell or to be a predator on his other black men. They're going to go into predator mode, or they're going to go into panic mode. So that's supposed to happen. And the intelligent ones will come out of that.
let's go back to the first. Let me go back to the first thing that you said, okay? Because you said that we're waiting on somebody else to create an opportunity, and I hear that a lot. But I'm saying when you got to understand what a legacy is, and I'm not saying that you don't have to understand that. Not that you don't understand what a legacy is, but I'm saying the issue with what black men, or what we collectively historically have failed to do, is we did not establish a legacy. Okay, you look at human beings as bacteria in a petri dish. Okay, and we're all competing for finite resources on this planet. Okay. Now, none of us live, more than 75 years, 80 years, 100 years. Okay, so when the first guy comes along, let's say the first black man A, okay, he establishes something, okay, over the course of his lifetime. Now, he can't take that with him to heaven. I don't care whether you're Christian, Muslim, or whatever. He can't take that with him, okay? What he's supposed to do is lay down a foundation to mainly his son, because the men are the builders of any society, okay? He's supposed to lay that foundation for his son, and then his son builds upon that foundation, and then his grandson builds upon that foundation. So the idea that everybody starts at zero, black people need to get that out of their head, because you get brothers that get in this mode of, well, shoot, I ain't have a car, so he shouldn't have a car, okay? I ain't had this, so he shouldn't have that. And the stupid thing about that is that's not how other races of men, or the groups that are economically conquering us, are operating. They make sure that the company or the corporation that they establish gets passed on to their son. There is no, my son is less of a man because I laid a foundation down for him, which makes his life easier. No, that's what they're supposed to do, and that's what allows them to be in a superlative position to us.
Well, no, what allowed us, I'm going to tell you what really put them over us. And again, I'm going to bring it back to the law and the order. I'm going to bring it back to the law and the order. That's what keeps the white man in power, the fact that he's willing to keep the law and the order on the planet and his government. We lost that. At one point, we did keep the law and the order. We did keep the principalities. We did connect to the higher principalities, but we don't see that anymore. So now we looking at things. We focused on one. And what I mean by that is we focused on just one elevation or one evolution of ourselves and our people collectively, where we didn't accept anybody's beliefs or philosophies or ideologies. But the minute we start thinking in a mathematical form of manipulation, which is controlled by the white man, where we start worrying about what is the white man doing, or what is they doing, what are these people doing, we start thinking in different groups and things like that, and we start thinking that we part of this populace or this group of people, so therefore we start thinking it's a competition when there really wasn't no competition in the first place. We were supposed to be moving in our own lane. And see, the black man who's not understanding that in this day and time, the black man who's not understanding that in this day and time, I don't know what to tell you. Have a nice day, because we in the state of mental, we as mentalists, we raising a new black man and a new black woman up who are thinking collectively as one. We don't give a damn about the white man. We don't give a damn about the Asian and these other people.
Can I say something to what you're saying real quick? I get what you're saying. I get it from the metaphysical and philosophical standpoint. However,
I'm not coming from metaphysical. Let me stop you. Stop. I'm not coming from the metaphysical. I'm not coming from no philosophical. I'm coming from logic and straight intelligence. We are Let me finish. Let me just correct you before you go on. We're not interested. Right. This is the problem with our people. We always keep falling back into their philosophies and their beliefs. That's a slave mindset. We're not interested in any philosophical conversations or any metaphorical or metaphysical conversations with anybody. We're only focused on one. Being pragmatic about the evolution of ourselves. We're not interested in nothing else outside that.
I'm saying I'm trying to be pragmatic about it, but what I'm hearing is, look, I look at it like this, okay? And this is basically the art of war, okay? I'm paying attention to what the white man is doing, because the white man has already conquered us. Whatever we were on previously, however magnificent it may have been, at the end of the day, we got conquered. Okay, so whatever playbook
we conquered ourselves. He didn't conquer us. He didn't conquer us. We conquered ourselves.
Okay,
I'm gonna tell you why. Let me tell you why. He didn't conquer anything.
Let me finish my point. Can I finish my point?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
Okay, fine. We conquered ourselves. I don't want to get into a semantic argument. All I'm saying is at the end of the day, whatever we had, it stopped working for us. And whatever they got going on, not just the white man, but the Asian man and the Hispanic man. You could take Japan, for example. Japan had their own culture. They were feudal Japan. They were riding around being all the samurais and all the ninjas that they wanted to be. Okay? The white man came there with his ships. Okay? With his ships, his big wooden ships and his guns. And the white man was dominating Japan. Japan kicked them out. And after Japan kicked them out, Japan got rid of its ways. They got rid of being the samurai and the ninja, and they got rid of that system. And within, I think it was, 60 years, 60 to 90 years, next thing you know, they're flying their planes into Pearl Harbor. Japan didn't have planes. Japan didn't have aircraft carriers and destroyers and none of that stuff. But you know what they didn't do? Japan didn't sit there and say to themselves, oh, well, that's the white man's knowledge, and we can't have none of that. We don't want none of that. But see, I don't know what it is about black folks, but we get caught into, where it came from. The white man did not invent paper. He did not invent the printing press, and he did not invent gunpowder. But the white man took those things, okay, and he used them to his advantage to conquer the world. What
you're talking about, see, this is the thing with the black man. Y'all say, this is another thing that's illogical with the black man. Y'all say at one hand that, we need to study what the white man do in order to really go out here and do it, but y'all never really take up the things that you really need to build a nation to become powerful. Now, how many black men are going to school to be doctors? How many black men and black women are going to school to be lawyers, dentists, the things you really need? Y'all want to sit up here and study how he works his policies, how he does his, do the manipulation. Hold on, let me finish. The black man don't take up, because that's where the answer and the key lies in taking up technical things and whatnot. And
let me add to what you're saying. Let me add, because I agree with what you're saying right now. The only issue is, and this is us. You want to talk about us defeating us? This is us. Instead of us focusing on those things, we do have people saying that the white man's medicine or the technical sciences and everything else is the white man's knowledge, okay? And then what you have is you have brothers who like to jump up. Wait. You have brothers who like to jump up and then say that, well, I don't need to focus on those things. I'm the Afro-Asiatic original man, and I'm going to follow my passion. I'm going to go sit over here and
that would be stupid. And that would be stupid.
Exactly.
And that would be stupid. And you got a lot of black men, and away from that, you got a lot of black men who's sitting up in college taking up things like philosophy and things like that, or Pan-African study or whatever. And a black woman taking up social work. She don't want to go to school and be a doctor. She don't want to go to school and be a dentist. She don't want to go to school and be a lawyer. She don't want to go to school. He don't want to go to school and be an engineer. He want to sell drugs in the street and talk about the white man and read a bunch of talking about he the Asiatic black man and all this BS. He want to do that because that's the easy way.
I agree, but let's go back to your other original point, okay? Mm-hmm. Because when all those degrees, I'm saying because we currently don't have an infrastructure right now, all of those degrees. Now, you can say people could go out and start some, but at the end of the day, you graduate law school, most people are going to need to pay back the student loans, which means who holds all the chips right now? White people do. So they're going to need gainful employment from white people. And a lot of our disconnect right now, the issue that we have with wanting to work with each other is because we are not dependent on one another for each other's survival. A black man can say, forget you, I don't need you, I can get what I need from the white man. And if he gets to the cracks and he gets to be the token, he can say that. There is nothing, for all the black people living in the suburbs thinking that they're living cushy, there is nothing that exists in the black community that will allow them to sustain the lifestyle that they're currently living.
Yeah, well, that's because, like you said, they want to go run into the white man like good slaves. The black man, just narrow it down to one thing. The black man is still a slave here in America mentally. He's a slave, all right? And
I agree.
we are pushing for the mental freedom of our people. The only way you're going to start, and what we're doing in the state of Mentel is we're talking about a total cutoff of all of this stuff from religion, from philosophy, from all of these things, and we are producing an intelligent, thinking new race of people that are coming out of the black race. We're not interested in the majority of the black race. The majority of the black race is finished. All right, that we acknowledge in the state of Mintel and what we're doing, because this the state of Mintel is an intelligence movement that is coming together with with black people who are waking up in this day and time and who are going through an evolutionary stage. We're not going to keep moving in the circle with the rest of the black race who want to keep doing the same thing, keep with the same vicious cycle. We're not doing that. We moving forward mentally in a straight line. We cutting away the religion, the philosophy, the Pan-African talk, the Asiatic nonsense. We getting rid of all of that, and we are starting as a new and intelligent people. Those are the people who walking with us. This is the things we tackling. We're not worrying about the rest of the black race. The rest of our people is finished. Because like in every line of evolution, you're going to have certain people that are going to move forward, and you're going to have certain people that are going to fall by the wayside. And that's it. So I'm not interested in the black problem no more. We're not interested in that. We're interested in the evolution of our people, because that's what it's all about.
So let me ask you a question. How do you think? Because I have my own ideas. How do you think that you will organize people and get people to come together and move in one direction? Because I have my ideas. I just want to hear yours.
It's already happening. We already doing it in the state of Mintel just by doing these radio broadcasts, by me doing my classes in New York already, and we teaching this intelligence and whatnot, and utilizing our people as an intelligence community. We're not interested in the whole things of our people were doing to the past philosophies of religion, metaphysics, and all that stuff, because all that come from the white man anyway, all that Pan-African stuff, all that's a bunch of confusion. So in order to wipe that out and to put us on one level playing field as one people, see, because those are the things that helped a lot of the other races of people, which helped us. We were one mind, one body, and one soul of people, and we all thought the same. That's how we doing this, as one thinking mind. There's no differences. There's no different ideologies. There's no, I believe this, or I believe. There's no more belief. It's one thinking people. We all thinking the same in the state of Mintel, and that's it. That's how we doing that.
All right. That's it. Because I'm just saying, I had somebody say the other day, and I thought it was very, very intriguing, and I kind of pull away from it because it's not necessarily something that I see as, I shouldn't say positive, but it's not something that I would directly want to be involved in. But he said that we need to control the vices of our people, because right now they're being manipulated by another group because we don't control the vices of our people. Like,
you mean like narcotics?
No, well, everything. He was
narcotics, liquor, things like that.
Things like that. He said, like, example, if you want everybody to stop eating McDonald's cheeseburgers, he's like, this is what black people do. We'll go outside the McDonald's with a bunch of picket signs that say, don't eat McDonald's cheeseburgers. He was like, if you were thinking in terms of power and control, as opposed to trying to get people to jump on board emotionally, then what you do is you buy the McDonald's and you control the McDonald's and you change the menu. Because our people like to, what I've somewhat identified is that people like to get black people to move in one direction based on their emotions, how they emotionally feel about something, because anything else would require them to actually do something, either physical or an injection of money and resources. Like, example, if I had a road and I wanted everybody to walk on the left side of the road, now I could use God and I could sit there and I could say, God says everybody to walk on the left side of the road. Maybe 80% of the people walk on the left side of the road. I got two assholes that want to stay on the right side of the road and don't want to get on the left side. I'm always going to have that problem. Versus if I actually have the resources and I jack the right side of the road up with a jack that costs money, now everybody slides to the left side of the road whether they like it or not. I don't have to get them to walk. I don't have to ask them to walk to the side of the road. I'm saying we don't think in terms like that. We don't think in terms like that with our own people, and we don't think in terms like that with other people, because let me say this real quick. I'm just saying, I feel like our attitude towards our own people, which is passive, okay, because when people don't get in line, we decide to have a discussion with them. We want to talk with them. We want to get them to understand. We take that attitude and we bring it over to the white man who's conquered us, or the Asian man, or Hispanic man, or Arab man, and they don't play like that. They force people to do what they want to do. And when we're interacting with our own people, we don't feel that we should force them to do anything. Oh, we got to get everybody all on one accord. But you already stated our people got a diseased mindset. So we got to put them in a position to where they don't have a choice but to get with the program. But the only way that you can do that is by controlling what it is they need to survive. As long as we don't control that, I don't really see it turning around.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what we say in the state of Mentel. We talking about and we advocate a separation in the black race. We advocate the separation of the intelligent from the ignorant. The ignorant we classify as the ones who still want to follow the philosophy, who still want to be religious, who still want to be metaphysicians, who still want to be Moors, who still want to be 9 to 5 Negroes. All them people, we gonna put them in a neat little box and we refer to them as the 2/3, and that's how we gonna do that. We refer to them people as the 2/3, and we're separating from them people, and we are doing our own thing separate from those people. We're bringing in a new evolution of thought, a new evolution of knowledge, a new road that we traveling. We're not going to travel in the circle with the 2/3. We're not traveling with the Moors, the 9 to 5 Negroes, the ones who trying to make deals with the white man, the ones who talking. And we're not doing that. We're not playing that. We're not worrying about those people. We part in company with them in the state of Mentel, because when you try and fold these people into what you're doing, you're going to create problems down the line. What you're going to do is you're going to let a bunch of rotten apples in to spoil the whole batch and cause problems and confusion. There's a lot of black people that are just straight up demonic. A lot of them don't give a damn. They just like they just as worse as the white man. So we're not falling for that whole, we all black, so we are all our own responsibility. No, we're linking up mentally as one new people. There is no more separation. When we're doing this in the state of Mentel, we're going to be the evolution of groups like the Nation of Islam, the old Nation of Islam, like how the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had it, where he had enough sense to separate from the rest of the black race, because he said we Muslims over here and the blacks over here, even though he didn't put it in that terminology, we saying in this way, we're mentalists over here, we're not worried about the black race. The black race, the ones are our people who coming with us, who are in tune with us mentally, that's who we dealing with. The rest of these Negroes out here who still keep going in the circle and want to do this and causing the confusion and, they just can't seem to get it right, and no matter how we keep drawing the game plan out, that's on them. We're not interested. They're not our problem. Be the problem to the white man. That's how we telling you when he locking your asses up. Be the problem to him.
Well, I agree.
That's how we deal with that.
I agree with them. I agree with the mindset. The only issue I have is, I hear you. I don't know the terms. I don't know what terms you're using. You say the Mentel group, but the only issue I have with any group that I've heard that wants to, go with the whole separation thing is there's never any plan to control anything, because they'll say it's not about control. We don't need to control, even for our own survival. I'm like, we're going to have to control something, because, we don't have the numbers. We don't. I hear dudes, when I talk about
taking control of our minds first and foremost, and the first focus should be in taking control of our minds is taking control of the education of our children. Like, for example, I don't hear all these so-called black organizations, movements, I don't care. Nobody has talked about starting an educational system for the children of the next generation.
Wait
a minute, like grades 1 to 12, like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad them did back in the old days in the Nation of Islam, because your focus should always be on the future generation of your children and educating them first and foremost.
I agree. I agree 100% with you, but I feel like you keep moving around my original point, which is I agree 100% with you. We need that, but guess what? That costs money. In order to establish an educational system, you got to have money.
Okay, if you have a bunch of viable people who want to make that happen, then they'll produce the money. I'll give you an example of myself. I have my own business, right? And I have a delivery business of water, right? And I started this from nothing, right? And I'm making money off of this. I'm taking care of my bills, and my business is growing. I'm about to come out with a adventure book line or epic book line, which they call comic books, with black superheroes. I have an artist already. So once you start putting thoughts out there, I have a brother who came into our movement who's an artist. He's drawing up, and we making our own epic books, or what you call comic books with black superheroes. So publishing and printing is a big thing. See, when you're thinking on a level where you want to advance and evolve, and you're not thinking about, what I don't have or what I can't get, then you're never going to have nothing. Where there's always an obstacle, you keep pushing the obstacles in your way. I don't think like that. And we don't want people who thinking like that. We want people who are looking to evolve and advance. If our people come with this whole welfare mentality and this, I ain't got nothing, so I guess I ain't going to never have nothing, we don't want to hear that. If you're not trying to come together collectively to get something, then not on the same page.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I'm just saying I see a lot of the you know what the most lucrative business in the black community is right now? The most lucrative business in the black community.
What's that?
The business of inspiration. That is the most lucrative business in the black community, selling false hope. And the best way to expose false hope is when you get down to the brass tacks and you start going through the numbers. You start trying to crunch the numbers, because any plan that is put forth in this system costs money. Okay, that's just what it is. And I find, and I am a big person that's against the black church, because they're the number one culprits of, God's going to solve it all and you don't need no damn money. Okay, and there's other.
Well, they're not. They actually pushing money. They're pushing prosperity churches and whatnot, and everything. When you walk in the door from the churches, empty out your wallet. They got ATM machines in the back of the church. So I don't know where that idea coming from.
That's the other end. That's the you treat the church like it's a lottery. Like if God's on your side, He's gonna make money rain out of the sky. That's the opposite end. So you got the we don't need any money, because God, there's going to be redemption, and God, the same God that the white man gave us, is going to smite him. Like that don't even make any sense. You got the Muslims running around worshiping a Semitic God. They don't even get down with us. Egyptians don't even want to refer to themselves as black. And then you got the ATM people. But I'm just saying, there's a lot of in the business of inspiration going around, and when you get down to, because that's the hard part. It's talking about the money. All right, well, while we're doing all this nation building, okay, where are we going to live? What are we going to eat?
Black people, listen. Black people who keep, and I keep saying this over and over again, and like I said, black people who keep talking about the money. These are the same people who don't want anything other than the creature comforts. They want the Mercedes. They want the house. They want to send these kids to private schools with white people. They want to ball. They're not interested in building anything.
Wait.
Let me just say this. So when people ultimately keep talking about, we need this, the nation bill, or we need this money, you know what it should inspire people to do, if you are truly in tune, if you truly have a bigger picture, if you see a bigger picture beyond just the money, then the money's going to come. You'll come with ideas to make money. Because I always say this, you can take 10 or 15 viable people who want to build a business and see the bigger picture, and they'll generate money. They'll start to come up with ways to make money versus a bunch of people who have a broken mentality, who looking for handouts and got a slave mentality. We all broke, we ain't got nothing, so I guess we ain't gonna have nothing. That's the mentality of the black race.
Are we talking about an increase in the quality of life for black people, or not?
Are we talking about? Say that again. I'm sorry. Say it again one more time.
Are we talking about an increase in the quality of life for black people or not? I need to understand whether we're talking about increasing the quality of life. Like as Wikipedia would say, the human development index. Meaning going from a third world country to a first world country, or are we not? I'm not so focused on whether you have a Mercedes or not, but I'm talking about the quality of life.
Certain people. And that's based on intelligence. We base that on intelligence. We're not interested. Hold on. We're not interested in increasing the quality of life on black people who are not intelligent, or the ones who are not in tune or see the bigger picture. We're not interested in that.
What do you consider an increase in quality of life? Like what defines an increased quality of life?
People who collectively cooperate and work together as one to form one new community moving forward for the evolution of that said group.
But that's not. But I'm saying that's not a quality. That's not quality of life.
That is
quality of life.
That is a quality of life, because it takes people to produce It takes people to produce a quality of life, because you're not going to go to individuals and convince them to have a quality life, or you telling them about getting money.
I know. Okay. I got you.
So that takes a group.
I got you. I agree with that. But I'm saying the actual quality of life is based on something physical and something tangible. If I take a homeless person off the street and I put them in a house, okay, and I give them gainful employment, I did increase their quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't do that, if I stick them in a room full of a bunch of homeless people and they're all sitting in there co-signing each other to death about how magnificent they're all on one accord, I did not increase their quality of life.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing: is it for you to do that, or is it for them to want that and make it happen for themselves and come together with people who want that? See, because when you got people who really want that, see, because hold on, wait a minute, because again, I don't care where the handout is coming from. I don't care if the handout is coming from the white man or the black man. A handout shouldn't be forthcoming. It got to be people who looking for a hand up versus a handout. See, you got a lot of people looking for handouts. That's the damn problem. People looking for handouts, not hand-ups, because there are a lot of hand-ups if you're paying attention, and you can produce circumstances if you want them. But then you got people who constantly look at their handout.
Okay, well, what's the difference between explain, break this down for me. What's the difference between a handout versus being dependent on your fellow man for something that you may need, and vice versa, where he's dependent on you? Where there's a mutual.
In other words, you want to know the difference between a handout and a hand up is, yo, let me get $5, bro. Let me get $5, bro. Let me get $5, bro. Every 5 minutes, I'm turning around. You got your hand out, $5 in me to death. You know what I'm saying? When I see you. You understand?
Yeah.
Then I don't turn around on the fourth day and I ain't see you took that money out and you tried to go and figure out something, how to get a job or start your own business or some kind of hustle, something you could do that if you pitch your mind to where you don't want in your mind to keep asking me $5 in me to death. That's a handout that you come in with me with a handout mentality. A hand up is when I first gave you the $5 to help you in the first place. That was a hand up. Anything after that, when the multiples, becomes a handout.
Got you. Because I'm just saying, I think that a lot of people, and I know you're clear in what your vision is, but I'm saying I think a lot of people get that mixed up because I hear a lot. You get, and I'm big on. Now I'm not calling you out. I'm saying I'm big on, and I'm sharing this, I guess, with everybody else who's listening. Calling people out on the trying to say that that person just, wants me to give them welfare or handout or whatnot, when the reality is they just don't want to help them out. They just don't want to do it because
the reality of it is the majority of the black race, the majority of it is the ones of our people who want welfare, whatever they're getting, they want a handout. And you've been trained to ask for handouts because as soon as the white man came, put you on the plantation and gave you a system to follow, in which he fed you or gave you food, clothing, and shelter. And then when they came with the civil rights thing, and they giving our women WIC. You know what I'm saying? They're giving the black woman WIC for when she have all these babies all out of wedlock, or she doesn't take care of the black woman. Like I said, so they put you in the mode of being in a handout mentality. The majority of our people want a handout.
I got you, but the problem is that the whatever you want to call it, leaders or the esoteric brothers and sisters and whatnot, they're not presenting an alternative. Nobody black is presenting an alternative.
We presented an alternative. We presented an alternative to the thinking man and the thinking woman. The people who are slow. Wait a minute, brother. Wait a minute. We presented in the state of mental, through the intelligence of intellect, we presented an alternative for those of us who are thinking in a straight line in an evolutionary state.
I got you on that, but I'm saying there's a difference.
But those other people, don't look to them to present anything to, because they can't. Because they're in the same revolutionary mindset too.
I got you, but I'm saying there is a difference between saying that it's like this is the difference between the two things that are going on. Like, let's say we got a black person in the middle from the hood that's got ghetto mentality or slave mentality or whatever. The white man's on the left side, and he's presenting real worldly possessions, finite things, whether you want to call it welfare, a check, housing, whatever. Things that this person in the middle needs to survive. On the other hand, we have the brothers that want to break away and cut everybody off and say, we're not dealing with y'all because y'all minds is messed up. But we present the alternative of you can get with us, and eventually we're going to get to the promised land. We just got to work together and get the right mindset going. Now, I'm saying you might get to the promised land, but I'm saying it does not meet the needs of what that individual needs right now. You gotta, again, this is what my man was saying about controlling the vices. You gotta wean them off of, if they're dumb and their minds aren't right. I personally don't believe in just leaving people out there. I'm like, you gotta wean them off of that, and then you bring them in. Like, it's like when you see people with the like the Muslims that go around Philly and everything. Okay, the one thing I give Muslims credit on, more so than the Christians, because I've seen it done more by the Muslims than anybody else. When the Muslims try to convert you and they come to you with the Quran, and you laying on the street and you a homeless dude, they got a piece of bread in their hand at the same time, so they can lure you into their agenda because they're solving your immediate need. If you're cold and you're outside, they got you a blanket. They got you something. It's not just a giveaway. It's to lure you in and get you in on the system and whatnot. Same in prison. We offer you protection so you ain't getting beaten up in here. All you got to do is read a couple pages out of this Quran. Next thing you know, he's a full convert. But I'm saying black people, as an entity, we do too much of the talking, and you need to join us. And if you don't join us, you're stupid, and your mind is messed up, and you're the slave and all this other stuff. But we're not really presenting nothing.
Well,
at
here's
the same
thing.
time.
We presented. Let me tell you the difference, and then I got to go because we got like 20 minutes. I want to play a little bit, but let me tell you the difference the difference between us and the Muslims. In the state of Mentel, we're not trying to convert anybody. Okay, we're not trying to convert anybody into our way of thinking. Either you are here with us mentally, or you're not. We don't have a gateway or a remedial course for people who are in the hoods who feel hopeless. Because I grew up in the hood. All right, I sold drugs. I did it all. You understand? I've been there, done that, and I know the mentality of these people because I had that same mentality. It's a BS mentality. It's nothing but laziness and a bunch of people who are looking to get over. Okay? See, we got to be honest and realistic enough to admit that. It's not nobody who's doing it because I'm just starving, son, and I'm trying to eat and I'm trying to feed my BS. BS. It's a bunch of people who just looking to get over. They don't want to work. They don't want to go to school. They don't want to sacrifice, so they take the easy road out. And that idea or that mentality has been promoted in our people from people these white people that set up these programs, who set up these WIC for when the black woman want to lay up and be a whore and have different baby daddies, can't take care of nothing, but she can go get some WIC and some food. She ain't got to be responsible to feed her baby, so that's why she can lay up, because she knows she got a security blanket. She can run up and get food for her baby and all this other stuff and keep doing the same stuff over and over again. So that we don't offer nothing for those people. We tell our people, those are the people who are advanced enough, who are evolving. You have a lot of obstacles around you. It is up to you to manipulate these obstacles and advance, and then based on that, you're going to want to be around people who are doing the same thing, and that's how you build a higher principality of people. Not off of a bunch of people who you got to constantly keep going like, here, son, here, 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 here. We're not going here, 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 because nobody said here, here, here to me. So we're not saying here, here, here to nobody. We tell them to get your intelligence. Wait a minute, let me finish, brother. Hold on, wait a minute. We tell people to get your intelligence up. You understand? Because we got no handout for you. And truth be told, the white man ain't got no handout for you neither, because all that's temporary with him. Whatever little creature comforts he giving you is all going to be temporary anyway. And he only does that to get you in that state where you become lazier and lazier and lazier till when he snatched the blanket out from under you, you sitting around like the blacks are now in survival mode, because the white man ain't doing a damn thing for them now. And he's watching them suffer.
Before I go, I just want to say this. You did just say what I said at the beginning of the show, where the sentiment is, ain't nobody do nothing for me, so therefore I'm not going to do anything for anybody else.
I've done the best thing. Wait a minute. I've done the best thing in the state of Mental. We've done the best thing we could possibly do, and that is raise the intelligence of our people and open the minds up of our people. Now, if you want to sit up here and talk about, okay, now, can you give me a piece of bread? Can you give me some money? No. We're not going to do that. We turned men into fishes, so you can go out and do that yourself by expanding your intelligence, by advancing your mind, and it's worked with the people who are coming into our organization. It's worked because we expanded their way of thinking. But see, the black man, that's the problem. He thinks, and this is unrealistic to think that somebody's going to keep giving you and giving you and giving you until they get tired of giving you. If a person teaches you a lesson, and if you're paying attention, you're open to receive that intelligence or that lesson, or that, I should say, that expansion of your intelligence, then you'll go out and be able to do it yourself, and you'll come together with people who are thinking on that level. That's how you raise yourself. But you ain't going to raise yourself every time if you constantly looking for a handout as opposed to a hand up. What I gave and what we gave in the state of Mentel was a hand up. But Negroes is looking for a handout. So that's where we part company.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you, bro. All right. And the brother, you asking how we expanding intelligence. You haven't obviously listened to our radio broadcast, Knowledge into Knowledge. See, because you, and like I said, by the fact that we're cutting away from the old philosophies and beliefs and we're forcing our people to think on their own logically is expansion of intelligence, because you black people have not been thinking ever since you got amongst the damn white man. You understand? Okay, you knew. All right. You black men have not been thinking, and that's the problem why y'all in panic mode now. You black men are in panic mode now, you black women, because the white man snatching the damn cover out from under you. He ain't helping you no more. He only did that for a specific amount of time to get you dependent on him. So, because he know you're going to go out in the street, realistically, he know you're going to go out in the street and rob and steal and kill and sell drugs and all of this madness, and then he could lock you up in jail and you back into slavery again. You back into the new millennium slavery. You're in the prison system. That's realistically how this thing is going to play out with the black race. Since y'all in panic mode, since you think money is going to be the issue, because you run behind money instead of thinking. Our people run behind money. The quickest and the easiest way to make money is to go to the corner, because I was amongst these cats. I was one of them. I was really never one of them. I was amongst them. But we run amongst these cats, and you go out in the streets because it's easy for the black man to go to the corner and pitch some crack rocks out on the street and sell drugs. That's easy. Instead of him taking his ass to school and becoming a doctor or a lawyer or putting that mind to use, it's easy for him to spit some rap bars and try to be the next rapper and whatnot. But it's more realistic for you that you could be the next doctor. How many, you got millions of doctors in the world. How many, you ain't got millions of rappers with contracts making money, but you can be a doctor quicker than you can be a rapper. You understand? Because it's all based on you. You understand? It's all based on you. Right? So. Well, like I said, if the black man is more, I agree with you. The black man is potentially more intelligent than what we give credit. But like I said, if you're not using that intelligence, then you might as well not have it. You know that old saying goes, use it or lose it. You black men are losing it. You losing it. You're not using it. You losing it. Because it's always, yeah, we could do better. We could do that. Then why ain't you doing it? If you're not doing it, then it don't matter. If it's always a whole bunch of excuses. Well, we ain't got this and we ain't got that. That's an old saying, like the old black people are saying. They have every right to say that. Not having is no excuse for not getting. You understand? The black man got more excuses for being a failure and take more time putting energy into being a failure than he is to come together with his people and move on, because that's what we said in the state of mental. Once we start driving ourselves mentally and cutting away from all the old philosophies, beliefs, and all the things that separate us as people, and we start as one new mind, one new body, and one new soul of people moving forward, you understand? Then we can start achieving things realistically. But we got to constantly see the bigger picture, all right? We have to constantly be ready to see the bigger picture, right? And the name is Nuben, not Ruben, brother. It's Nuben, N-U-B-E-N. Sounds like Ruben, but it's Nuben, N-U-B-E-N. All right? We offered, like I said, the best things that people ever gave me, or the best things that people ever shared with me, were lessons, or their life lessons. That's the best thing. It wasn't money. I had people give me money when I was hustling. I had people give me tons of money. Got nothing from it. Spent it right up. It was come and gone, right? But the best things that stayed with me forever was the lessons that people taught me and how they lived their lives, and the things they said to me that stay with me to this day, that drive me to move forward. So, and if you're one of those people who don't see any tangibility or anything tangible in words that you could utilize to move you forward, then you know what? This ain't for you. You understand? You don't see intelligence. You can't see it. You like these Negroes who say, well, I'm trying to eat, son, and so I can't eat words, son. Yeah, you can. You can eat words up. You can put them in your mind, and you can move forward with them. But if you got to, like I said, you got a handout mentality, like, everything with you got to be something tangible or physical that you could touch. You can produce tangible things. Hell, I did. People in the state, we produce intangible things. You understand? We produce intangible things from ideas, right? But you black men, y'all ain't got no ideas. Your idea is to run to the white man and see what you could beg out of him. You know? Don't take it personal, brother. Stop taking it personal. Okay, brother. Well, I don't know you neither. I don't know who knowledge. That's a name you go by. I'm not. Don't take. See, that's another problem with the black man. I'm not focusing on you. I'm talking about all black men who think like that. Yeah, that's the problem. Our people are too damn sensitive, man. We're too sensitive. I'm not focusing on you. I'm talking about anybody who thinks like that. And I was just getting the whole idea, explaining how my name is pronounced. I was just pronouncing my name correctly. You know? But we have to be able to put ourselves in the catbird seat and say, I'm the damn problem. See, when I was able to do that, when I focused all the attention and the blame on me, I was able to solve my problems, and I was able to open up and let in that which would evolve me, which was this knowledge or this intelligence of intellect. See, we start connecting to something higher once we accept the responsibility and blame for our own actions and what we're doing, what we're not doing right. But see, the black man will always want to look outside himself for the problem instead of looking in where the problem lies and solving that problem and coming amongst people who are thinking the same way. Look at who you associate with. You understand? Look at who you associate with. Right? If you associate with the people, like the black man, he'll sit up here and talk about, niggas be doing this in the hood, niggas be doing, but you smoking weed. Right? You sitting up being about nothing. Right? You don't want to sit up here and stop doing what you're doing. Right? You don't want to be amongst people or surround yourself with a support system of people who are trying to win together mentally. That's what we tried to establish in the state of Mentel. We're not sitting up here, because I don't like a whole lot of long, drawn-out problems where it comes to, this is why we like this. Every time I keep hearing the black man attaching the problems of the black man to the white man, that tells me one thing, that the black man is still a slave, that you got more excuses for failing, and instead of taking one excuse or taking one road to succeeding, which is yourself, right? Yourself. What is it that you could do? We gave something great to our people in the intelligence of intellect, that which would advance and move our people forward, thinking forward. If you're looking for a handout, don't come amongst us. We ain't got nothing for you because we ain't offering handouts. We ain't out in the street like the Muslims feeding the people, because all you doing, a lot of Muslims, all they doing is, like I said, they trying to convince you of something. We don't want no converts. We want thinkers with us. We don't want believers with us. We're not trying to sell an agenda. We want thinkers. We don't want believers. We don't want philosophical people. We don't want all the old slave-minded Negroes from the past who don't want to move forward, who don't want to advance and evolve. We're not looking for people who coming for a handout. We're looking for people who want to hand up. We what did they say? What was it? Kennedy said, "Ask not what your country could do for you or your movement could do for you. Ask what you could do for it to further it. Because by furthering it, you further yourself." We're not coming taking anybody because we want people to be part of this and whatnot, because it'd be easy for me to do that. We don't want just anybody with us. We're not the church. We're not a religion. We're not a philosophy. We're an intelligence movement, and we run on the intelligence of our people independently. That's how we're doing this in this new era. So let me go ahead and read these last questions before I get out of here. Right? People who can't see the value in intelligence are not the people we want to be around in the state of Intel. Right? The people, like I said, the black woman, like I said, who's sitting up here permed all out and whatnot, she don't want to be who she is, or she want to mix her seed with this person because she don't like her image, or the black man want to get money just so he can buy Jordan and smoke weed all day and wear fitteds. We don't want you around us. Go be with you. You part of the 2/3 club, or you black men who think you're going to get a handout. You think it's realistic for you to get a handout or some sovereignty from the white man and wear some feathers on your head. Go with the 2/3 club. We don't want to have nothing to do with you. All right? So you the handout people. We the hand up people for ourselves. What is true reality? True reality is that which is moving forward, the bigger picture, the evolution of the constantly evolving of a people. If you are not evolving, if you are not growing mentally, if you're not moving forward collectively as a people, then reality is you will not be here tomorrow. You will not leave a progeny of intelligent people. That's what your purpose for being here is. That is the reality. That is the true reality. And yes, we are answering to a higher order, a higher principality, and it's not the white man, right? Like a lot of you Negroes still do. We going into our future selves. We are advancing and evolving into our future selves as it's supposed to be, moving forward. This is the evolution. This is year one, right? Why don't black people understand it? Because black people are caught up and they still tied to the white man. They still slaves mentally. So everything, like I said, if you ever notice, whenever the black man got to say why he ain't doing nothing in the world, it's always got to go back to the white man. Well, the white man is this and we can't get nothing. We can't get this. You sound like a bunch of slaves. I'm gonna be honest with you. You sound like a bunch of slaves. You can always go through money problems. Hell, I had money problems, but you know what? I'm gonna think my way out of it. I always do. Right? That's never the issue to me. It's always forward motion, forward movement. We keep pushing on because we answer to a higher order. That higher order, that higher principality is reality, not the white man, not the creatures, but the creator. Not no God, not no unseen force, but the higher principle of who we are as a continuous people. Right? Black people don't understand that. All they understand is the white man and going to him and getting a job and getting some money. It's basically the slave mentality still is strong. Who decides what is reality? The Most High decides who's reality. And who is the Most High? Our ascendants, our children, and us as a continuous bloodline. We decide what's reality. We set reality in the world based on logic. Based on logic, continuing logic, and chosen sense, which is no longer common sense. It's chosen sense because the majority of our people do not have common sense anymore. The majority of our people are still moving off of philosophy, belief, and ideology. So this is where we cut the cord with them because it's a waste of time and a waste of energy and talk. Majority of our people are not going to get it. So it's like modern day man trying to talk and trying to explain to people who are in a Homo erectus stage or a Homo Homo habilis, Homo erectus, like trying to talk to cavemen. Damn, it's like talking to our people. They can't get it through their head. Even the intelligent ones, the so-called educated ones, are the most ignorant. I'm starting to find out more and more. They worse than the cats standing on the street, they pants hanging off their ass. Because sometimes them cats got more sense than you. All right. Does man decide what the true reality is? Man, the black man don't know what the true reality is. And no, man doesn't decide. The Most High does. The advanced ones, the ones who laid all this out, decide what the reality is. The reality is evolution, continuous and constant evolution for a people. But a people who are not thinking that way is no evolution for them. When are the black people going to understand or embrace the true reality? When we move on and we start understanding that the true reality, again, is evolution, evolution, evolution. Constant motion, constant movement forward. When we don't get that, then it's a waste of our time and our energy. And we got to get in long, drawn-out conversations about politics and civil rights and, black people. I don't want to talk about the black problem because my issue is I'm not interested in the black problem. Right? That's a problem that's going to continue constantly because the black race is linked up with the white man. And y'all got this revolutionary mindset which constantly keeps you moving. Yeah? Right? That's why I said, well, sense is not common. That's why I said that it's chosen sense now, brother. It's not common. Our people don't have common sense. The majority of our people they go off of belief and philosophies of the white man and traditional nonsense and things from ignorant people. So, no, we refer to it as chosen sense, not common sense. Logic is chosen sense now, brother. And it's only going to be for the select few people that's going to move forward. All right? So that's it. Join me tomorrow night on State of Mental Radio. We're going to have, always as usual, we have something good. I just wanted to get this one in. We're going to be doing our class on June 30th in Brooklyn, New York, 1368 Fulton Street. The 1368 Fulton Street, the Bed-Stuy Restoration Center from 3 to 7. Join us Monday night for State of Mental Radio, 9 p.m. as usual. Once again, I am the intellectual Amir Nubin Menkares. This has been State of Mental Radio. Good night. Well, I want to...
Sniggers. Hip-hop TXL, the exclusive list. Sniggers. Niggas. Niggas. Dope. Niggas. 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 DJ Ready Real. Niggas. Niggas. Shit. Shit. Nigga. Shit. Niggas. 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 Host. Horse. Fuck. Niggas. 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 Shit. Niggas. Nigga. Hip Hop TXL, the exclusive list.